Hey guys, so here is part 4 of the 3.2 day 3 notes. So it says the perimeter of a parking lot is 72 meters. The length is 3 times the width. Find the dimensions of the parking lot. Okay, first step, we're going to define the variables. Now we are talking about the dimensions. Remember, that's probably going to be length and width. So I'm going to use L as my length and use W as my width. Now, I'm going to go ahead and write 2 equations so I can solve. Okay, so this is talking about perimeter of a parking lot. Now, okay, we're going to assume a parking lot usually is a rectangle, right? So here's our parking lot. So we have our width and our length, okay? Now, it does talk about the perimeter. Now, we have a rectangle, right? What do we know about perimeter? Well, if we add up all the sides, that is perimeter. Or notice that we have 2 lengths, right? And we have 2 widths. And we add those up, once again, that's perimeter, okay? So here, when we are writing the equation, to think about perimeter, I'm going to say we have our 2 lengths plus our 2 widths. And they tell us that the perimeter is 72 meters. So I'm going to make that equal to 72. Now my second equation is going to come from this second sentence. Okay, so we're going to go off of what we did in the last example. So it says length, so I'm going to use L, okay? And it says is. Remember, is represents equal. So I have L equals. Now it says 3 times the width. Well, we have times, that represents multiplication, right? Because like if we say 3 times 1, that's 3. We're multiplying. So we have 3 times the width. We're going to do 3 multiplication, so times our W, okay? So just know for these type of problems, like from last example and this one, when you have perimeter problems, one of your equations is going to deal with the perimeter, and then the second equation is going to come from probably from the next sentence, okay? Now, our next thing, once we have our 2 equations, we are going to go ahead and solve. And remember, we're going to solve either by using the substitution method or elimination. And once again, it is up to you what you would like to use. So whatever you feel more comfortable with or you think is a little bit easier to use, we will do that. So I'm going to rewrite my 2 equations here. And I have L equals 3W. I'm going to go ahead and use the substitution because if you notice here, my L is already solved for. So I'm going to take this 3W and plug it for where I see L in the other equation. Okay, so when I do that, I have now 2 times 3W plus 2W equals 72. So 2 times 3 gives me 6, so I have 6W plus 2W equals 72. Notice that we are solving for one variable now, so we're doing this correctly. I add those 2 together, I get 8W equals 72. Divide both sides by 8, and I get W as, and you can plug this into your calculator if you need to find it as well. That's going to give me 9. Okay. Now, to get the length, I do need to take that 9 and plug it into one of the equations. Please plug it into the easier equation. Yeah, okay. So we get L equals 3W. I think that's the easier equation. I have L equals 3 times 9. 3 times 9 gives me 27. Okay, now from here, we need to define our answer. Because having just 27 and 9, well, that doesn't mean anything, okay? Okay, so W is our width, so we said 9. Now, we do need to check if we have any units. So I'm going to go back up to my problem to see if I do, okay? So notice it does tell us that we are in meters. So that is the unit I am going to use for my final answer, okay? So I have 9 meters, and you can just put 9m, that's fine. And then for my length, that's going to be 27 meters, okay? And we can definitely check our answers to see if they make sense, right? So we did, like, plug these back into our equations, we should get the same answer, right? Yes. So another thing is 9 and 27, they are positive numbers. So it does seem like we did this correctly because it doesn't make sense to have negative length and width, right? Okay. Okay, so make sure you work on the homework assignment for this. If you do have any questions, make sure you contact me. I'll see you guys later.